What is going on, YouTube? This is Fascinating Graveyard. Today we are at the Woodman Cemetery here in Dekalb, Texas. We're here to visit the grave of Haas from Bonanza, of course, played by actor Dan Blocker. We're going to talk a little bit about his career and how he tragically passed away. So he was born out here in Dekalb on December 10th, 1928. And when he was born, and this is on record, he is the biggest baby ever to be born in Bowie County. He weighed in, at birth, at 14 pounds. That's a big baby. I can only hope that the mother had every drug known to mankind to put her out of her temporary misery of birthing that bundle of baby joy that was Dan Blocker. So his family, they were, lived here in Dekalb on a nice little quaint street over here. And he was born, of course, during the Great Depression era right there. His family went ahead and moved on down to Dekalb, Texas, where they ran a grocery store. It was kind of one of those dream scenarios for me if I wasn't on YouTube, where I had a business and I lived where I worked at, because that's exactly what I would do. And they lived in the back of the grocery store, so they would hand out the grocery stores in the front, live in the back. Business in the front, living in the back. He went to a military academy while he was a kid living down there, and then later on, he went to school. He went to Sul Ross State Teachers College in Alpine, Texas. Little known fact, you may not know this. This guy was a very big guy. This guy was huge. The guy was 6'4", weighed 300 pounds. Even though he was a big guy, he was described as very jovial and always in a good mood. He was not an angry type of person whatsoever. And while he was in school, he was a all-star football player. He also did a little bit of boxing and a little bit of wrestling. While he was going to school for his BA in dramatic arts, he might have gotten drafted. It didn't say online if he got drafted, but he went over to serve in Korea. So he fought in the Korean War. He was there for a little under a year. He received a couple medals, one of them being the Purple Heart, because he received some wounds. And of course, the Korean Service Medal with 2 bronze stars. After he left Korea, he came back over here, went back to school, finished with a master's. And originally, when he got out of school, his career choice was going to be a teacher. He taught 6th grade in Carlsbad, New Mexico. And, he might have gotten bitten by the acting bug, because while he was going to school, I guess he tried for a part in some type of a school play. And no, he liked it. I don't know if it was his first love. I mean, the story gets gray. Who really knows? So this guy's a 6th grade teacher in New Mexico, and he wants to move to Los Angeles. Now, it claims online that he moved there for post-grad work, but I had the sneaky suspicion that he liked acting and he wanted to be an actor. And, you go to Los Angeles if you want to be an actor, if you want to be involved in any kind of social media nowadays. So him and along with his wife, they move out to Los Angeles, and he actually secures some roles on TV. He was in an episode of The Three Stooges. I guess he plays some kind of villain. He would chase Larry, Moe, and Curly around, or what have you. And then later on, he was in an episode of Gunsmoke. The longest running TV Western series, if you didn't hear me earlier. Second after is Bonanza, in case, just reminding you guys, making sure that you're paying attention. And so he did other bit part television acting roles, but he was, always, I don't want to use the word typecast, but he was always playing like the Western type, because he was just a big, strong looking guy, you know what I mean? So later on, after doing some other smaller TV shows, TV work, he secured the job as the character Haas on Bonanza. And Bonanza, of course, starring Michael Landon, who, in my opinion, one of the greatest looking actors of all time. If I could look like any actor that I chose, I'd probably pick Michael Landon. Very, very handsome guy. Rest in peace to him. Also starring in Bonanza was, I think it was Lauren Green. I could be wrong about that. I try to get my facts correct on most of my videos, but sometimes it doesn't always work out the way I want it to. Of course, Pernell Roberts was also in Bonanza, and Bonanza was on for about 430 some odd episodes, and Dan Blocker was on about 415 of those episodes. And while he was on Bonanza, I didn't know this, me just reading, that Bonanza was so popular, you know, because I'm not into Westerns, but I'm into just, you know, just history, reading about stuff, that there was a bunch of restaurants called Bonanza. They were like steakhouses, and Dan was offered partner ownership in the chain, if you will, in exchange, like he would kind of do promotional engagements and do commercials as the character Haas from Bonanza. And very, very tragically, on May 13th, 1972, Dan Blocker was having gallbladder surgery, and he died of a pulmonary embolism. Basically, it's a blood clot, you know, it detached somewhere in his body and it moved up to his lung. And that is how he passed away, very, very young when he died. I believe he was 43 or 42 when he died. And my mother, loving Westerns, she probably is going to enjoy this video. And yeah, he was 43. This is the grave of Dan Blocker. And that is his mother right here, mother and father, Mary and Ora Blocker. I believe his nickname was either Shaq or his middle name was Shaq. And that is his 11-year-old sister. She died on the 1st of January of 1933. That is very, very sad in itself. So when he died, you know, Bonanza was a very, very successful TV program. But, you know, like a lot of things, you know, TV shows can't always be on TV because people kind of get tired of it. Westerns start slowly fading away from popularity in American culture. And him dying was the real nail in the you know, proverbial coffin, if you will, of that TV show. And you couple that with the fact that they moved the TV show, I don't know why, but you know, when your ratings are kind of going down and then this happens on the TV show, you may want to try to like move it to a different day or a different time. And they actually moved it to Tuesday nights. So it was up against a very, very popular TV show, which was a spinoff of All in the Family, starring B. Arthur, of course, the television show Maude. And that's what did it in. People were watching Maude. Maybe people weren't into the Westerns the way they were in the 30s, 40s, 50s before that time. And, you know, Bonanza was the very first network TV show to address a death of a character on the show. Before, they wouldn't do that. They would just probably write the character off and everybody would forget about him. But because this character, who was so beloved on the show, I don't know, because I wasn't a fan of Westerns, so I don't know if he was considered the most popular character on the show. But, you know, when I think of Bonanza, I think of actually Michael Landon and Dan Blocker together, because I just think about those two. And like I said, I'm not into Westerns, but, you know, I would watch it on TV on occasion when I was in jail, because this guy loved Westerns. So that's the only time I watched Bonanza was in jail. So, yeah, just, died way too young, way too young. So rest in peace to the Blocker family. And, yeah, just a little bit of television history right there. So let me ask you guys a question as I leave the family Blocker gravesite. Bonanza is the second longest running Western television program in the history. Do any of you guys ever see Westerns coming back into popularity? And I laugh to myself when I say that, because the way our culture is going right now, I don't think Westerns will ever, other than in the movies, I don't think Westerns will ever be on TV ever again. Maybe it's just television program companies, what have you, they are always looking to cut costs, and maybe it's just too much to recreate those kinds of sets. But hey, you never know. We have Netflix. Maybe they might bring Western television back. I wonder if it would be popular. Who knows? Rest in peace to the Blocker family. All right, guys, fascinating graveyard. I am out of here. I'll catch up with y'all later. Peace out.